A very good day to Dr. Lily and to everyone. My name is Nakiba and we are from Group 2. We were given an option to choose among 3 topics to discuss about, and we decided to choose the second topic, which is would electric vehicles of two-wheelers be suitable for Malaysia. So this will be our main headline for this video. We will be talking mostly about how and why is it appropriate to ride an electric vehicles in Malaysia, things like the pros and cons about it. So, but before that, I will first like to explain a bit about electric vehicles, because I think some people might hear this for the first time or might not even have an idea of what actually is an electric vehicles. So, electric vehicles is basically a mode of transport which is powered by electricity. So unlike the usual vehicles that use a gasoline, petrol, or diesel powered engine, electric cars and trucks use an electric motor powered by electricity from batteries or fuel cell. And the key advantage of electric vehicles over other forms of transport is that they hold the potential to significantly reduce pollution by having zero exhaust emissions. So what are some examples of electric vehicles? I think the most basic example that I could give out is the BEAM, the purpose scooter that we usually see at our campus. It's literally everywhere in our campus. And you just have to pull like the brake lever on the handle and it will automatically move on its own, and it's really convenient and it's really windy. I tried it before and it's really fun, but it also cost me quite a bit, but it is really eco-friendly because it doesn't emit any kind of gas, because every electric vehicle use a electric motor instead of an internal combustion engine, which stands for ICE, which creates air pollution that is actually bad for our environment. So now that I have enlightened you a bit about electric vehicles, I will now pass to my group mates to discuss further about the pros and cons about it. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Lilies. Today my topic would be, would electric vehicles of two-wheelers or electric motorcycle be suitable in Malaysia? First and foremost, I partially agree and partially disagree on it. Why the pros? It is environmentally friendly. Electrical cars are more than just means of transportation. They are an opportunity for cleaner air and also happier lives. The environmental benefits alone make this new technology worth exploring. Not only will you be helping the environment and also the community quality of life, but also reducing exposure to harmful toxins such as motorcycle would produce carbon monoxide, and also it will cut down on carbon emissions that contribute directly to climate changes. It is an important part so that everyone in Malaysia could cut down using motorcycle. And why I disagree on this point is that the government charges a high rate in taxes for using electrical vehicles. For example, I would like to give you one example. The vehicles with rated motor output of above 80 kilowatts to 90 kilowatts, they will charge around 160, and every 32 cents for every 0.05 kilowatts, that is a 50 watts, increases from 80 kilowatts. So imagine using this and you charge it every single time, and you know it will charge you very high. And once I read about this part is that Malaysia, they charge really high in electric vehicles, because electric vehicles are imported and they haven't been produced in Malaysia, such as Perodua. You only can find electric vehicles such as branded companies such as Mercedes or also the BMW. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Queenie. Based on my finding, electric vehicles is suitable in Malaysia because it can save the driving costs. In general, it can cost about half as much to drive an electric vehicles, because electric vehicles are more energy efficient than the gas-powered vehicles. It can be seen through a research that proved that electric vehicles' batteries can convert 59 to 62% of energy into vehicles movement, while gas-powered vehicles only convert between 17 and 21%. This proves that Charging an electric vehicle's battery put more toward actually powering the vehicles than filling out at a gas pump. Hence, electric vehicles owners who charge their electric vehicles to full at about 30 ringgit can travel about same distance with the gas-powered vehicles owner that spend about 80 ringgit to refill their vehicle gas. In short, it can be said that the driving cost for electric vehicles is cheaper than the gas-powered vehicles. However, limited charging station has made electric vehicles unsuitable in Malaysia. Even though the driving cost of electric vehicles is low, but recharging it could become a bottleneck for the vehicle's owner. Unlike China or Europe that are one step ahead in the electric vehicles technology, Malaysia is still at an entry level. It's a much harder task for Malaysians to find a charging station, and the drivers are forced to prepare and make sure they fully charge their vehicles before a long distance travel. It cannot said that Malaysia are completely lacking in charging stations because there are approximately 600 electric vehicles charging stations across Malaysia. However, it may take quite some long time to charge a electric vehicle's car that can take as little as 30 minutes to as long as 12 hours. Hence, if compared to the petrol station that only take about 5 minutes for a vehicle to refill its fuel tanks to full, electric vehicles really need a longer time to recharge, and approximately 600 electric vehicles charging stations is far from enough. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Lee Xingting. I am partially agree with the statement of would EV are suitable for Malaysia. First, EV are lower maintenance compared to petrol vehicles. Having an EV leads to significant long-term savings. Unlike internal combustion engine vehicles, EV are more reliable with the fact that they have fewer moving parts which lead to less wear of components. Fewer parts wearing out means less maintenance are required. For example, Tesla electric motors only have 2 moving parts and use single-speed transmission with no gears. EV also don't need radiators, fuel injectors, gas tanks, and exhaust system. You won't need to go get an oil change, and due to the use of regenerative braking, you won't need to get your brakes changed as often. However, EV are too expensive. So why EV are so expensive? First, cost of research. Developing EVs is almost like starting from scratch, especially for companies that only make EVs, such as Tesla and Rivian. EV is a new good before it appears in the market. So, it was time consuming to do research and development, and the time taken lead to higher cost of production, in the result, higher price. Besides, EVs run on lithium-ion batteries, which cost more in materials. Consequently, most of Malaysians can't afford an EV. According to a survey conducted by Voters Insight, 38% of the 1,038 Malaysian respondents state that EV was still too expensive to purchase. Only the higher income person are able and willing to afford an EV because they earn more, and most of them view the EV as status symbol.
Greetings to the ladies and fellow friends. Regarding to the question that our group has choose, which is question number 2. Well, I partially agree and disagree that electric vehicles can be suitable to ride in Malaysia, but I guess I will more to disagree. I will agree that electric vehicles are suitable to ride in private areas such as residential areas and university areas. But I disagree if people ride electric vehicles of two-wheelers on the highway. It is because we know that on highway, many large cargo vehicles such as lorries, MPV car, SUV car, container and others. We can see that motorcycle accident statistics increase every year. So, in my perspective, electric vehicles of two-wheelers don't suitable to ride in Malaysia because lack of security. Why I say like that, it is because there are many types of electric vehicles, but some of electric vehicles do not have good safety features. For example, beep. Try to imagine that we ride the beep on the highway. We can relate this to the physics of Bernoulli principles topic, where is But this principle states that fluids that include water, gas, and air that flow at high velocity have low pressure, and the result force from the high pressure area to the low pressure area to balance the pressure of the entire system. A fast moving lorry carries an equally fast wine, and based on that principle, this wine is at a lower pressure than the surrounding air. With that, the force will be generated towards the truck or lorry, pulling along anything that is brought by the enforce, such as beam. Well, maybe we can consider electric vehicle can be safe ride on highway in Malaysia if we make the special road for electric vehicles. That's all from our groups. Thank you.